Doctor, you've touched on vaccines a little bit. Just recently, a couple of organizations have now recommended HPV vaccines for boys as well as girls. Just an example of more and more vaccines that are getting added to the recommendation list for younger kids. What are the repercussions of that down the road?
First of all, infertility. That's the only reason, in my opinion, and our great friend Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, who is one of the world leading experts on this issue, we all believe the only reason for this is cause infertility. So that there was their agenda of really population control and population reduction. They want to make sure that we don't have children any longer and that we don't live long enough to collect Social Security. That's why they vaccinate all these soldiers. It's my belief they vaccinate all the soldiers like crazy so that when they come home, because now they are trained and they have seen what dirt is out there and what war really means, and they are really, really angry and upset, so that they are sick and not energetic anymore and that they die off young, they give them all the vaccines and experimental vaccines and so on. Gulf War syndrome was only caused by vaccines. It haven't been caused by anything else. And so let's go back to the HPV. This, what's this criminal, Rick Perry? Yeah, he is one of the biggest mass murderers, in my opinion, out there. Bill Gates is really a good one, but Rick Perry, who told everybody it's a law that they have to vaccinate their children, their daughters, against the human papillomavirus, HPV. First of all, it was never a law, and when he was start running for president, that of course came up, and all of a sudden he said, no, I never said it was a law. But all these hundreds of thousands of young girls that got it will be probably infertile, but in 90% they will have cancer along the way. And we have girls that dropped with a needle still in them. We have thousands of girls that died from it. We have thousands of girls that have permanent neurological conditions and diseases from the HPV, from the Gardasil vaccine, even if the producers, of course, say it's not related. It happened directly afterwards to a healthy child, but there's no correlation, of course. And so when you start vaccinating, first of all, with the vaccine, you have all these toxic elements that are in the vaccines. And you get all these cancer-causing elements, including mercury, which is the main cause for all these brain tumors out there, because quicksilver, mercury, aluminum is the only element that crosses the blood-brain barrier without a problem. That's where all the brain tumors are coming from, or most of them at least. A lot of them, of course, come from amalgam, mercury fillings in the teeth, and implants and so on. But the main thing is just money. So they thought we tricked and paid Congress into allowing us to put poisons into girls. Now we have this market covered. Now we need to expand the market, and now we put it in boys. First of all, HPV or cervical cancer that supposedly is preventing, there's absolutely no proof it does that. Second of all, it prevents only, or it supposedly works only for, I believe, 4 of the hundreds and hundreds of HPV viruses out there. Second of all, if somebody has cervical cancer and just takes baking soda, food-grade baking soda with a water solution like Dr. Simoncini does, and does a douche with it, the cervical cancer is gone on contact, as far as I believe. And so why even bother with this vaccination junk and crime? Vaccination is a crime. It's an assault with a deadly weapon. It's a crime. And it has never protected anybody from anything. It never will. And people always say, oh, what about polio? Polio disappeared in countries that didn't vaccinate twice as fast as in countries that vaccinated, because it was caused by bad nutrition and bad hygiene. And the second the food got better, the world got cleaner, it just disappeared. And so it's like all these other diseases. It's like if your body is not acidic and lacking oxygen, no virus can multiply in your system. So it doesn't really matter what you get. As long as you're oxygen-rich and alkaline, it does not matter which microbe invades your body, it cannot multiply. It needs an acidic environment to multiply. That's why some people get the flu and some people don't. Some people get the cold, some people don't. You know, I really don't care. I stand in an elevator with 15 people and 3 are sneezing like crazy and have the cold and everybody's hiding and putting their arm and, you know, I don't. A microbe doesn't make you sick. Never did. You are already sick because your body is already so acidic and lacking oxygen. You have nutritional deficiencies. You have stress. You have lack of energy. And then you get something. You will never see somebody getting the cold that is positive, energized, and just full of life. You have to be worn out, you have to be tired, you have to be depressed first, and then you get whatever comes along. So a vaccine, at the end of the day, didn't work, never worked, cannot work, even if hypothetically it cannot even work, because it always causes more damages than it would do good. But there's also really no proof that any vaccine ever worked. If you look at their own tests, they are basically kind of like 1% or 0.5% above the usual placebo effect. And that's all they really need to prove that there's some kind of working mechanism in it. And usually, since the companies do their own research that then they submit to the FDA, yeah. That says it all. It comes out, whoever pays gets the result, whatever they pay for. You know, if we pay somebody and say, we give you $500 million, if you say everybody that paints their head blue will not get cancer anymore, they will come up with this absolutely scientific research that will work.